What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we have to fix the evil. We are experiencing a few symptoms that are pointing to our injectors and fuel pump. The first issue that I'm having is that the car wants to die at low RPM. I have to rev it and give it a lot of gas for it to stay on. The car just wants to shut off. Number two, I'm having a horrible air-fuel ratio. Number three, when I was installing my valve cover in the previous video, I did notice that the pigtails on my injectors, the wiring, is starting to show. We're probably having some sort of connection problem. We're gonna check everywhere from my injectors all the way to my fuel pump and go from there. So wish me luck. Okay, and here is our beautiful engine bay. Here is what I want to show you guys. Right here you can see on this one injector how the wiring is starting to come out. Second pigtail, we have more wiring coming out here. Third one, it looks like it's starting to break off. Fourth one looks good. For sure, we are going to be getting rid of those pigtails. I've honestly had them on the car 5-6 years already. I got the pigtails because it was the easy way of upgrading my injectors. But honestly, I do not even like the mess that all that wiring is causing back there. What we're going to do is remove those pigtails and directly wire our injectors. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that. If you at home have pigtails and you want to clean up a little bit your engine bay, with this video you'll know how to do it. But we're not done yet figuring out our issues, so let's head over to the back of the Evo where our fuel pump is and see what's going on over there. Okay, so I am secretly happy that the Evo has been turning off because this is definitely not a safe way to be driving your car. Check this out. I hate electrical problems. These are my fuel pump relays. Look at how they're melting. Here we have another probable cause on why I'm having issues with my fuel. We're gonna have to replace these relays and hopefully we can find something better that lasts. So this completes the inspection on the Evo. Clearly we are having problems in both the injectors and the fuel pump. I'm going to do a little bit of research, see if I can find a relay that will handle the voltage better without melting. And I'm also gonna see if other people have relocated these relays to maybe a safer location or somewhere that's going to be. And then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so you guys are probably wondering why this crazy girl is in her trunk. My research has led me to first go with a Radium relay. Andy has this on his car, and I also have a few friends that have changed to Radium relays. So I'm gonna give them a try, and we're also going to be relocating my relay to my trunk. This is the Radium DIY fuel pump relay kit. This kit comes with everything you need to hardwire your fuel pump. The kit includes a 40 amp relay, a 20 amp mini fuse, and all your necessary aircraft grade wiring, terminals, and these cool butt connectors that have the solder built in it. I will show you guys later how to use these. They're very clean and easy to use. So here's what my car currently has. I had a shop install my 450 fuel pump a few years ago, and this is how they set it up. I personally don't feel comfortable with my relays sitting in this location. So what I will be doing is replacing these two relays with a single 40 amp relay, and I'm going to use this spot where the shop installed my now blown and on to-do list circuit breaker to test out a potential new location for my relay. I'm going to start off by removing the old relays and wiring. My signal wire was already spliced, so I'm just going to reuse the connector and extend the wire. Our new relay has two power wires. One goes to the fuel pump and the other one goes to the battery. We can choose either or of the outside wires. The blue wire is going to be our signal wire, and the black wire is going to be our ground. Now we're going to work on extending our pump's power and signal wire to the trunk. Once all that is done, we can work on our new location. According to Radium's instructions, I won't be needing this middle wire, so I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to work on my ground wire first and use this temporary location where an old sub's ground used to be. I extended my relay's ground, added one of the terminals that came with the kit, and completed the connection. Now I can focus on the wires I extended from my pump. My signal wire connects to the relay's blue wire. I like to solder these thinner wires instead of using connectors. Now we're going to connect the fuel pump's power to our relay using the crimpless solder heat shrink butt connectors that came with our kit. Once you slide the connector in place, do not crimp. We're going to use a lighter to heat up the middle area, so hold the tip of the flame close to the connector for a few seconds. You'll see and hear the solder melt. Once that is done, just slide and shrink your heat shrink over it, and it's all done. Last but not least is our mini fuse. One wire connects to our relay and the other ends with a terminal that connects to the battery. To complete our connection with the relay, we're going to use our crimpless butt connectors again and then add some heat shrink over it. We are all done with our relay for the fuel pump, and now we can get started with our injectors. We are going to be getting rid of our pigtails and directly wiring our injectors. Hopefully this is going to solve the breakage issues that I'm having, and then after that we'll just take it out for a ride. Here's what my current setup looks like. As you can see, the pigtails clutter up this area and make it look super messy. You can't even see that I have a nice fuel rail under all that mess. So this job is very simple. We're going to be cutting off the pigtails and reconnecting our wires together. Start by disconnecting the pigtails from the injectors and any other plugs that are connected to your harness. We want to be able to pull this harness closer to us so we can work on it. Now we can start cutting off the pigtails from our harness. I am cutting as close as I can so I have enough wire to work comfortably. Next step is to cut off the connectors that plug into the injectors. We want to get rid of these ugly adapters and directly wire the connectors to our harness. Before moving on, check all your connectors wiring for damage or exposed wire like this. If so, make the necessary repairs before you move on. Once all your connectors are good, go ahead and splice all the wires. We can now move these out of the way and start working on the harness. Before splicing the harness's wires, plug the connector back into the injector so we can measure the length of wire you want to keep first, and then proceed with splicing the harness's wires. We are now ready to solder these connectors back onto the harness. I like to use a small heat shrink for each wire and then use a larger size heat shrink to keep both wires together. Injectors operate by a voltage pulse, so you don't have to worry about matching the same wire back onto the harness. Either of the two will work as long as your connection is good. I didn't have any, but feel free to use some flux to help you with your soldering. Go ahead and repeat this process on all 4 connectors. And here we go, we are all done, ready to plug them back in. We are all done now, so let's check out how the Evo performs with its new adjustments. Prayers. Wow, that's a clean startup. It's doing a lot better. Well, I think that a lunch run is the perfect way to test out your car.
And the air fuels are great.
Where can I do a little move of it?
It may have to be after we get the food.
Are you getting a soda?
Yeah. Or explodes on me. Sweet turn signal, bro.
Should I turn here?
No. No, you can make a U-turn down there. It's
Here's the amazing Evo turning ratio. We need like 3 lanes to do it.
that's good.
2.5. 2.5, not too bad.
Oh.
And you're fine.
That's why I'm getting Wendy's.
And here's the other part of Racecar.
Go ahead with your order.
Can I get a number 1 single? Then can I get the Southwest avocado salad?
Okay.
And that'll be all.
1860.
Thank you. Yay. Back to AC. Are you ready? How's your soda?
I'm holding my soda.
I'm holding tight to it?
My phone may go somewhere into space, but
I say we do a little half throttle action.
it's leaning out.
Leaning out a lot?
Oh yeah. Half throttle, nothing.
No, that wasn't half throttle. Sorry. Don't think we should do another one? One more?
I want to slow down a little bit and maybe do a half throttle, not to red line, just so I could keep an eye on the airfield. Maniac. Alright. Second gear is good.
Yeah.
Second gear is fine. Third gear starts to lean out, and then fourth is like it can't even read it. I don't even know if it's leaning out or if it's just not reading the gauges, and maybe we need a new sensor, a new wideband
Well,
sensor.
this one kind of went already, so.
Maybe you don't floor it, just like, just ease into it
Okay.
so I can see what the airfield's doing. That is good. Up there, fourth gear is leading up. Alright.
Fourth and fifth.
Yeah, so second, third is not bad at all. And fourth and fifth, you're starting to lean out. Right?
All right.
Fuel pressure regulator.
I mean, it honestly, it feels like a lot more responsive than
Yeah.
before. That job Startup is also a lot cleaner, especially on cold start. I used to get breakage when I was driving, constant driving, highway or city. I would get like a little constant breakage, and now I no longer have that. Car is still leaning out between 4th and 5th gear. So I think it's time for a hot tech and a new tune and a new tuner. You guys will see who I pick as